Okay, I am one of the traders over here, and this is our midweek recap as well as a review session. So, before I start, first thing is like whatever I mention over here or on the server is not of any type of financial advice. We're simply not qualified to give you that. It's totally from the perspective of education. Okay, so with that, let's start tonight. Okay, and you guys know the drill. It's a complete free format. Anything you guys want to have reviewed, any questions you may have, this is the time. You got me, you got Smooth, you got in the zone. Feel free to pepper us with questions. If you showed up, you should be asking questions. So who wants to go first?
Joyrider
Let's
is here
start
as
with
well.
Smooth. His trade on Fubo.
No, no, not Fubu. Warner Brothers. That's what my question was.
We'll go with Warner Brothers as well. But I'll tell you like why my assumption about Fubo is, right? Look, this thing literally crossed over to your like what 2 year highs. Okay, 2.5 year highs if you look at it. Okay, went up, doji, coming down, and the main thing that I'm looking here is the volume is fading. The buyers are not stepping in to save this. The next level that I'm looking at, literally, this doesn't have anything to support its move. If you look at the even from a weekly perspective, in between there is nothing to hold this. Not a single level of support that exists. Okay, that's one. So that's why I was like very confident on this, saying like this is coming down to force because the moment basically it starts losing that five, okay, losing this place, the next logical place you have is this temporary support here between 4.5 to 4.4. And if it loses that by any chance, this is where you are looking at. But here, very strong chance of a bounce because you have two things coming on together. You have both your 200 as well as, or a smaller time frame, your 60, okay, and your support level of 382 from long back. And coming here, naturally, we'll see a bounce back to Forge to test it back again. If it doesn't hold from here, loses 5, then straight away you're looking at a 50-cent downward move. That was my take on it. Does it give you a perspective
Okay.
why I'm like a bit negative on it right now?
Oh no, no. See, what you just said is reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
At first, it seemed like you're saying it's going back to a dollar, and
Of
I'm like,
course,
it's
no.
not going to go back to a dollar.
Of course, no.
Okay, okay, no, no. So we're on the same page. Okay, there is a pullback to
Mm-hmm.
be expected. Okay, of course, and
Yep.
we're looking to see if it holds 433. Yes. All right, so we're
Of
on the
course
same
it
point of view.
is.
Okay. I was worried because you're like it's going to a dollar. I'm like, I don't
No, no,
think
no.
so. There's too much
It's
backing it.
impossible. A dollar
Yeah,
is
yeah.
impossible. I think it's going to stabilize more something like to plus minus 4. I think that's where it's going to stay. Okay. Fubo, I personally like a lot because I watch a lot of soccer. Okay. And this is the cheapest option to watch like European leagues, honestly, in North America. So that's the reason like I'm very biased towards it. But where it is right
No.
now, I feel like it's very overpriced. Okay. So that's on Fubo.
Yeah, we're just Q4 is about to technically end. So I'm
Hmm.
sure there's going to be a new subscription platform that's coming out with Disney, Hulu, and
Yep.
Fubu all together.
What's the market share of Hulu? I haven't seen like Hulu, no. I mean, like a lot of people subscribing to it. I think like people who are on that Roku platform, Hulu is very popular over there, right?
No, well, Hulu, what makes Hulu a little bit different than Netflix and Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
streaming platform wise, is Hulu is still partnered with a major television networks.
Okay.
So as opposed to like Netflix, where Netflix has to buy the right to
Mm-hmm.
stream the season, or Amazon has to buy the right to sell the season,
Mm-hmm.
Hulu has the rights to stream the new episode either the same day, well, basically after 8 p.m. Eastern time. So
Their prime
which
time.
is like, yeah. So whatever, if the show comes out before 10 p.m.,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get it this either the same night, and
Mm-hmm.
then if it's after 10 p.m., you'll get it the next day.
That's pretty cool.
as opposed to any other streaming platform where you have to wait till the season's done, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What about movies? They have a good following on that as well.
Hulu? Not
Yeah.
too bad. Not too bad. Their major thing is just being able to watch it right away, right? They
Okay.
don't buy the rights to the seasons for long, so they just buy the rights to active shows. So their main income is coming from active shows that are coming out,
And
right?
their customer base is a little bit different.
Exactly. It's not a binge type thing. It's more of a, oh man, I'm waiting for the new episode of Grey's Anatomy to come out, right? Or something like that.
Gotcha. So what do you want with Warner Brothers? Tell us.
Warner Brothers, well, historically, January is the
This is
best time
this.
for it. It has the pump for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
then pull back, and then it most of the time it
Mm-hmm.
has this massive shoot up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Last year it didn't shoot up too much. All the pump happened at Christmas, but
Mm-hmm.
before that, 2023 it went up $10 or $11 during Christmas, and then up 15 $15 before the end of January, and
Mm-hmm.
then obviously it just stabilizes at 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just trying to catch the pump before it happens.
I think your pump is done.
You think it's done? What makes you say that? Is that not a cup and handle?
Handle, please, please don't be like in the zone's friend who basically discovers
Bro,
patterns out of anything.
well, cup and handle is the one of it's a very
I know, I love it,
statistically
but
good.
but
All right, it
that
did break out of the handle.
yes.
The last body candle is really
Mm-hmm.
what messed it up.
Hmm. So your pattern is slightly invalidated here. And to be honestly, for the handle to be fully formed, you need to go up at least a little bit higher. Breaks out of this, you're gold. But your trend has totally invalidated on the pattern for now. Make sense, bro?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. But you are close to a very strong bounce level actually. Because 10 is a very psychological number, right? So I don't think it's a good idea to short it just yet. If you're planning to short it, wait for it to really die. Then you have at least $1 move to this area. And from here, that's also another super strong bounce area because this was your resistance for quite some time. Once, twice, thrice, four times, and then fifth time was a support. So from here, if it breaks, you can pretty much expect it to come down all the way down here.
Take a look at the chart on the weekly.
Yep.
Strictly looking at it towards the weekly, not anything with
Yeah.
a daily chart. Yeah. So, um, this long candle today for this week kind of like put us out of the range, but it's still not too bad on a
Still not
pullback from the
broken.
highs.
You're like at the bottom of your
Hmm.
handle just started. If
Yeah.
this breaks,
The body of the candle is around the
yep,
50% mark.
yep. Okay. You're gonna touch a bit on the patterns, the two patterns that literally work on all the time frames. You're gonna take the floor for it.
What, the cup and handle and the
Head and shoulders.
well, the head and shoulders, it works in not only time frames, but it also works in like microstructure. So within even um the 1 minute chart, that you can have a micro head and shoulder playing out as well. What makes it different than a larger time frame head and shoulders is typically on the 1 minute head and shoulders pattern it won't have a horizontal neckline. It's typically like a trend line. Um, so that's the only thing that makes it different on like a 1 minute time frame as opposed to that. On any other larger time frames, the head and shoulder is one, it's commonly it's commonly looked at. So you want to, with any patterns and indicators, it only works because everyone else is using it. Um, so typically, if you're looking at patterns that are commonly used by like majority of traders, um, you know, for head and shoulders and rounded bottoms or cup and handles, price typically will follow the pattern just because we all believe it follows the pattern. Any other smaller patterns, they don't have as much of a success rate because there's obviously less people that are utilizing it. So that pretty much
That's
goes.
cool. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
patterns are like unlimited. Okay. Smooth shared a book with me. If anyone wants to read it, I'll be more than happy to send it to you guys by email. This is huge. It's like a 1200 pager book. All right.
Yeah.
The guy basically researched over 30 odd years and literally, okay, he was not a YouTube trader, he was a genuine trader. He goes off extended time periods to research each one, look at the results, okay, coming up with it. So it's literally like a historical study. Okay.
Yeah.
So he also talks pretty much about the same things. The two patterns that literally works on any time frame or any type of trading that you want to use. One's the cup and handle. Logic being very similar. Okay. Like typically what's the cup and handle? You bottom out, you start coming back. You face some resistance pretty much about the same levels where it died from previously. You go down a little bit because after any major move, you'll have a pullback. So this is the pullback. Then when the handle starts coming back up, what you are typically looking at is the break of this. If the handle breaks from here, all you're looking at is the upside. My drawing is
And the
terrible.
thing with a cup and handle as opposed to a head and shoulders is typically with a head and shoulders, the or an inverse head and shoulders, the move is considered just 100%. So it basically, if it died from the top, you're expected to either retest the top, and it's no guarantees that it will continue, as opposed to a cup and handle where technically the the top is non-existent. It can go as high as it has
You
value to
broke
keep
it.
pushing up.
You literally broke
Yeah.
it, right? So basically, you don't have
Hmm.
any limits. Okay, till you hit the next resistance or something level coming up, you're all good for to go. Okay, so personally, this is my favorite pattern. I'm not much into head and shoulders, but let's touch a little bit on it as well. The other pattern that I really like is basically double top or double bottoms. So what does your head and shoulder look like? You had a move up, small move up, came down pretty much to the same levels. You had another move, and then your third move is not as high as the first one. Okay, so this is typically what I am looking at: shoulder, head, shoulder. The move that I look for, or typically the move that is, you connect the first part of the head with the second part of the head. Make sense? I mean, like this, it should be a little bit up, honestly.
It's the neckline.
Yeah, the necklines. Okay. Man, my drawing is so terrible. I feel ashamed. Okay. Yeah, now it looks better. All right. So basically, the moment you see that the second shoulder it fails, okay, it does not bounce from here. It rather fails. What you're looking at, very similar to the cup and handle, you're straight looking at a downside here. And again, this literally you have to, there's no limit, right? Because you just broke the trend completely. And you need to wait at least till it tests the next downside for it. Very similarly, you have the inverse head and shoulder. This is from an uptrend to identify like when the uptrend is broken and the trade is for the downside. Very similarly, opposite of it, you have a move down, you have a bigger move down, and you have a smaller move down. A common mistake that people make, they think like both the shoulders will be same. Both the shoulders are never gonna be the same. Okay, if you're looking for perfect alignment, that is almost non-existent. Okay, sometimes this shoulder will be bigger, sometimes this shoulder will be bigger. The move that I will be looking here is a complete opposite. This happens, I'm good to go. We start breaking up, starts making this a support. The one basically is move favoritably calls like sloping support. Okay, this happens, you're looking at the upside. Where you're looking is the next support, next resistance level. That's it. Okay, so these are the patterns you will find repeated in charts. So try to go for it. Typically, the wedges work pretty well because like everybody is looking at them, right, to work it out. But if nobody believed in the wedge, okay, the moment the wedge basically gets broken, say nobody took that trade, what will happen? It will straight bounce up. Patterns exist because we want to believe that they will work. That's it. So many people working, looking at it. So the moment basically my head and shoulder it started going up, everybody is jumping in. When everybody is jumping in, you're just creating more demand. That will keep on pushing price up. I will jump. Looking at me, Ronnie will jump. Looking at Ronnie, basically trading 2709 will jump. Looking at her, Ali will jump and price will keep on going up. Next time this happens, we think like this pattern is perfect. It's a rinse and repeat of the same thing. That's how typically trading works. Thank you. Okay, so that's what I wanted to cover from my side very briefly. Totally open to you guys for questions. It's only me and Smooth who's talking. Feel free to ask your questions. Anything that comes to your mind.
Oh, what platform is like this that you're using to like look at this, right?
The chart, I use Trading
Yeah,
View
the
for
chart.
charting.
You can say that one more time, for me?
Trading View.
Trading view.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. It's one word
Uh,
altogether. All right.
one word altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just recently like got into it, so I'm just listening to like terminology because I really have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I've never heard of the head and shoulder or the cup and handle before 5 seconds ago. So
No risk. Okay. Trust me. All of us were in your shoes not too long ago. Okay. So
I
uh,
mean, you're pretty
never.
old, Moin. So I mean, you were
Okay.
there a
I've
while
been
back.
trading like what? A bit less than 4 years. Come February, I'll be trading 4 years. That's it. All right. Compared to a lot of people, it's nothing. Right. So, and we keep learning every day. Never hesitate to ask your questions. All right. So, who else? Anyone? Feel free to shoot your questions.
Slim, just a heads up on Mondays, in the zone, we'll be having a live bait for more beginner traders. So if you have 1,000 questions, be sure to ask them on Monday, right?
And honestly, you don't have to wait till Monday. Just shoot the question, tag us, shoot it in general chat. One of us will pick it up. Or for me personally, I don't hang out in the rooms. Just DM me. We'll try our best to get back to you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So who else goes next? Otherwise, I'm seriously gonna go to sleep now.
Moin, can you hear me?
Of course, Jimmy, I can hear you. How are you, bro?
Hey, and no, my computer was giving some trouble
What's the
before.
temperature
Hey,
in
nobody
your
has
place?
any. It's about. Oh, inside is not too bad at all. Here, here it's
Outside is
okay.
like what?
Outside is like -20, -25, 30.
Oh, yeah,
It's
it's
cold.
equally bad. Mine is
It
about
is cold.
-23 now. All right. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
He's my fellow
Tonight is going to
Canadian.
be like
That's why I'm asking
-30.
him about the temperature in his place. Right.
Uh,
Yeah. And it's so
eh,
chilly. I don't know
If
about your
this may
place.
be a
I'm having literally like, seriously, like, not a snowstorm, but like strong wind. So it literally feels like it's coming into your bones.
inside is okay at all. Like inside is not too bad.
True. I don't know what you
outside.
said. Yeah. Anyway, tell me your question, bro. What was it?
Hey, if nobody has a question, maybe a basic question, like the like you give the levels like Nvidia and QQQ and Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
like for options.
Mm-hmm.
How do you execute that? Like based on, is it like you do the option contract of ending this week, next week, what value you take? Like if you can just break your trade down or something for that, if nobody else
Sure.
has any other questions.
Absolutely. Okay. But before that, I will request you to do one more thing. I don't know if you attended the class by
Mhm.
Joyrider on Monday. That was a very good class on options, especially for people like me who
No, I
really
did
don't
not.
understand it much. Okay. So
Yeah.
it's in the recording section. Okay. I'm not sure what Smooth calls it. Yeah. It's
Okay,
under
I'll
market
watch.
education recordings. Okay. Watch that. It's
Sorry.
hosted by
Yeah.
In the Zone,
Yeah.
but Joyrider was like the guest speaker there. It's a great session.
Yeah.
All right. He's a pro at
Okay.
options, honestly. And if you guys have
Okay.
questions, please feel free to hit him up in the chat. All right. He's very responsive as well. Okay. Now, typically, this is my trade. First thing, I don't understand Greeks that well. Okay. So I trade options literally like I trade penny stocks, keeping it super simple.
Okay.
So these are the levels on NVIDIA that I had today, right? For
Yeah.
me, basically, I don't trade the first 10 to 15 minutes. Simply incapable of that.
Mhm.
Trying to understand the price action there.
Yeah.
So I was waiting. When this thing is going up, it broke through my level, you see. But what I was really waiting
Yeah.
is this level and 200 EMA is very, very close, correct?
Close.
And
Yeah.
if you look from the day before, NVIDIA had a major bashing. Okay. So to
Yes.
confirm on the upside, I really want to see from here a reclaim of the 200 EMA, at least two candles.
Mhm.
This was a complete fade.
Yeah.
It went up and
Yeah.
immediately you have a huge push down, right?
And
So for me, this
yeah.
is literally like a trigger. Okay. The moment I saw this
Mhm.
candle happening on such a strong push, I was almost ready. I wanted to get in. The next candle was even worse. So this gave me very high confidence that
Yeah.
this thing, if it comes back, it is gonna fade. Okay. So my trade on it
Okay.
was basically when this thing started coming back, I saw this, it wicked up,
Yeah.
never managed to even close above the 9. This is where I
Yeah.
triggered my trade. I remember the candle very well, right on this candle. Okay.
Mhm.
I typically go with 4 contracts because I want to scale. On
Yeah.
options, I'm still a bit shaky. Here I scale 50, 25, 25, meaning 2 contracts, 1 contract, 1 contract. Okay. So 2 I
Yeah.
basically took out here. I'm still waiting. Trend is not broken. Very simply put, I'm waiting.
Question is more in that point. Let's
Expiry.
say when you
Expiry.
decide to take it, yeah, expiry and what amount? Like, is it you go with 130, 110? Like, what
Sure.
amount and
Let's
what
take both
expiry?
of
How
them.
do you choose? How do we
Yeah.
choose that?
Expiry also, I try
Right?
to keep it very simple. Okay. Like, I want to be least bothered with the Greeks, right? I'm day trading it. So, what I try to do is I try to
Yeah.
buy time. The contracts are more
Yeah.
expensive, but I'm at a safer side. Okay. That
Sure.
if I'm buying Friday expiry, I have left myself with only 1 day, right? So, my
Yes.
logic is super simple. If I'm buying it on Monday or Tuesday, I will go for this Friday's expiry. If I'm buying on
Okay.
Wednesday, if I'm very confident on the trade, I will buy Friday expiry. If not, I will buy next Friday
Mhm.
expiry. Thursday and Friday, I will
Okay.
go for next Friday expiry.
Okay.
Okay, this is literally like
And
options
how do
trading
you
for
choose the?
idiots.
Yeah,
Next,
I know.
I do,
I'm probably
I do
idiot. One of
the
the idiot. I did a little bit before, but I don't know in
I
detail.
do this
So,
same thing
like,
as him. Also with ETFs, anything after 12 p.m. Zero days to expire. After 12 p.m., you really should be buying the next day expiry. Don't buy today's expiry after 12.
okay.
okay,
What amount, like, do we go with? If it is a put, we go with like 130. Like, how do we choose that amount? Is there a logic behind that? Like, what, what amount? Like, what price of option put we buy at that point?
okay. The
I
proper
think,
answer is
Moin,
go ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just trying to say simplify it for yourself. When you're starting out to trade options, get the safer option. That's what both of them are trying to tell you. Like whatever's the safer you can afford in terms of pricing, try to be as safe as you can. And the safer thing to do is one, keep it as close to the price that it is. Like if, for example, the price right now is 135 and you're getting a call, if you have the money for it, get 136, for example, or 137, and get as much time on your side as you can. I mean, not whole unreasonable amount. You shouldn't go out a year on Nvidia or like 6 months on Nvidia, but like a week or 2 weeks is enough. And if you can stay close to the current price, that gives you a lot of safety in itself. If you were able to afford two contracts with like really far out price and you can only afford one, that is what I try and do. Like I would rather be closer to the money, or the current price, and get one contract instead of two, just because it limits my risk profile that way. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay,
Absolutely.
no, it makes sense. That's what I was trying to ask, that do we go with like a closure to that amount contract, or we go with something totally like if it is put its way down or something like that? So, okay, no, that's what I
Look
was
here,
trying to ask. Okay.
when basically this thing is happening, when I basically took the puts over here,
Yeah.
what am I thinking? What's the logical place this thing is gonna test,
Mm.
right? I cannot buy in the money
Yeah,
because
that
my
makes
cash
sense.
flow does not allow for it. The most logical place for this to test is probably this 140 region, correct? Or
Okay. Yeah.
138. Okay, if this breaks 138, you go for that. If you go here with 135,
Okay.
you're being a bit unrealistic. That will work who has a larger risk appetite than you for that trader. But for you,
Yeah.
basically, you're being
Okay.
very unrealistic here. Makes sense because you're a day trader. Very
Yeah.
unlikely every day
Yes.
will be like that day Nvidia makes an all-time high and then dumps $10. Okay,
That's right.
so keep it
Yeah.
realistic where it goes. And the other advantage is if you go like $1 or $2 out, the moment your contracts
Yep.
start getting in the money, you see the value of your contracts start increasing exponentially.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so it is cheaper to buy slightly out of the money, as well as like once that hits,
Mhm.
you see your value will be drastically increasing. That's it. Okay, my
Okay.
contracts too, I got out here. Third one, basically, when it
Mhm.
broke, 139, I got out. The fourth one, I was
Mhm.
trying to ride it down. I think this candle literally took me out of the trade. I got profit stopped here.
Okay.
Okay, so that is literally
Okay.
your options trading
So,
for dummies. If you want a real version, watch the
okay.
joyriding
Yeah.
part.
No. That's probably right now. It's for dummies. It's good for me. I want to keep it simple. And again, you taught me few things. Like you are almost. This is almost like a penny stock option in a way. If you are just making it simplified, right, version.
True, because I don't understand Greeks myself that well. Most of you here, okay, can probably have a better understanding of Greeks than me. So I have to trade within my
Okay.
capabilities, right? So that's there.
Yeah.
Okay. But does that help you to understand?
It did help me. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah.
You're
I just
welcome.
try to wonder how to even try it out.
Hmm.
One and then this made things clear. Yes. Thank you
Paper
for that.
trade first. Paper trade, get the hang of it. Okay, then do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Thanks, Jimmy. Who goes next?
Thank you.
Tammy, you want to ask a question? I can see your mic unmuted for a while. So who else is next? No one? Time to go to sleep? All right. So tomorrow is closed. Enjoy the day. Okay, don't try to trade futures too much because like volume is very gonna be very wacky. I literally went downstairs, okay, put food in the air fryer, came back, NQ just moved 1 point, one freaking point. Okay, seriously, I'm not joking. So keep Monday away from trading, give some rest to yourself. All right, and we'll talk to you guys on Friday. Have a good night, everyone.